values. How do you feel about Trump?
How do I feel about him?
Yeah, how do you feel about his term?
I want a fuller context and a longer form to talk about that. And if I said something to you now, it could be one line could be taken out of context and could be put in a headline. So I don't want to take the chance for that.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this was an instant regret moment for a TV news host that was just looking for some easy orange man bad points with Matthew McConaughey. Now, I don't know if Matthew McConaughey is a Trump supporter or not. It doesn't matter. What it really was another lamestream media person sticking a microphone essentially in a Hollywood person's face and saying, do you disavow the orange man? And it didn't exactly go how she planned. There's already a couple of articles out there that are pretty hilarious. Matthew McConaughey brutally shuts down Carrie Bickmore's line of questioning on the project as she asks how he feels about Donald Trump. Look, if you're in Hollywood, you must openly hate Donald Trump. And whenever a Democrat's in office, you must openly love them. That's just how it works. I don't know how many of these Hollywood celebrities even believe the stuff they're saying. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. You know what I believe, though? I'm really, really thankful for all of you. We're getting really, really close to 1 million subscribers, and I hope today will be the day I earn your subscription. There's a red subscribe button down below, and if that's not enough for you, I'm giving away an Xbox Series X, which is also linked in the description below. Make sure you enter today. Don't delay. Matthew McConaughey savagely shut down questioning about how he feels about President Trump during an interview on Wednesday night's The Project. The 50-year-old Hollywood actor had appeared on Channel 10 panel show to discuss his new memoir, Green Lights, but awkwardly refused to answer a question on politics when queried by host Carrie Bickmore. How do I feel about him, he said. I want fuller context and a longer form to talk about that. If I said something to you now, one line could be taken out of context and could be put into a headline. So I don't want to take the chance for that. I mean, this is literally Matthew McConaughey knowing what she's up to, knowing that she wants to write the article. Matthew McConaughey denounces Orange Man, but he was ready for it. I need a longer form where I know it's word for word. Everything I'm saying is being broadcast. He knows. That's the best part about this. He knows that the mainstream media is disingenuous. He knows that they would have misrepresented him, or that they would be likely to, and he just stuck it right in her face. And he goes, if I said something to you now, one line taken out of context, I don't want to take a chance for that. I want word for word. She was like, well, let's lock that in for a chat another time. She quickly wrapped up the interview saying, great to chat. It's been fabulous. Thanks for your time. Matthew has rarely spoken out about his political views in the past, but in an interview in BBC's Andrew Marr in 2017, he was asked if the cultural elite of America should give Trump a break. In response, Matthew said, well, they don't have a choice right now. He's our president, and he's very dynamic and as divisive of an inauguration and time we've ever had. At the same time, it's time for us to embrace and shake hands with this fact and be constructive with him over the next 4 years. I mean, how dare another Hollywood star just have a totally normal take? Look, I'm trying to remember. I think of the 5 times I've voted for president, I think it was 5. Things rarely went my way, but I didn't spend the next 4 or mostly 8 years whinging and crying about it. You know, I got up the next day, I put my shoes on, I went to work 15 minutes like I always do. And that's really what most Americans do. But the mainstream media and like Hollywood and stuff, they don't get over it. They completely identify with this fact, and they don't know how to get out of the rut. His comments were in the aftermath of Trump's election, and a year later, when he was asked to clarify his words, he gave a similar statement. Well, I said, or I thought I said, is that people were in denial, and we have to accept the fact that he's president. He said that he would only express his views on camera in an unedited form, adding, it's just that I don't want to become clickbait. Based Matthew McConaughey is based. I mean, this is just a normal look. He probably doesn't. He's probably not a Trump supporter. And that's obviously 100% fine. Who cares, right? His vote, no matter how rich he is, matters just as much as your vote or my vote. So at the end of the day, I don't care. I think Matthew McConaughey understands the fact that nobody cares about Hollywood actors' political leanings unless it aligns with theirs. You can use, I mean, on the right, there's hardly any. James Woods, but what is he like? I mean, you know, he's not exactly like at the forefront of modern cinema right now. I mean, no disrespect. But he is like worshipped by the right because he stands out against it. Clint Eastwood is conservative, but he's so old and so well established, he's got nothing to risk. But when, you know, like Mark Ruffalo is out there, or like Madonna, all these young kids are like, yeah, Hollywood actor thinks the way I do. I'm basically just like them. Which, of course, they're not. You see this, Matthew McConaughey embraced the results of the 2020 election, whichever way it goes. Matthew McConaughey is a firm believer in whichever way the pendulum swings, the upcoming 2020 election, people should embrace the results. McConaughey, 50, promoted his new book, Green Lights, on Fox and Friends on Wednesday and spoke about his motto, when faced with the inevitable, get relative. Applying the motto to the race between Trump and former President Joe Biden, he said, it's not inevitable who's going to win. And after that happens, whether it's the incumbent or whether it's Biden, after it happens, it's time to get constructive and not be in denial. The Dallas Buyer Club actor, by the way, Mud too, one of my favorite, actor can caution fans not to get too caught up in thinking, oh, I can't believe this happened, and focus on the reality of the results. Wow, what a totally adult thing to say. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to be one of those people that still haven't gotten over it. I mean, look, I hated Bush Jr., hated him, but the amount of times I thought about him between the elections or in my day-to-day life, I should say, extraordinarily rare. It's time. Okay, so McConaughey added, whoever's going to be the commander-in-chief and the president of the United States of America, that's not something hopefully we're going to deny about or argue. I hope it's a clean election, the actor stated. Whichever way it goes, I hope it's clean and there's no debate. Boy, I basically 100% agree with the Hollywood actor, and it feels disgusting. It feels I hate it. That said, it's true. McConaughey made similar remarks in 2017 about embracing the president in a televised interview with BBC. People know me, understand what I was talking about, he said. The True Detective star also touched on divisiveness in the U.S. and how topics such as the coup have been politicized. We got a lot of work to do as a country. He said himself, McConaughey called himself aggressively centric and declared that when it comes to most issues, I'll meet you in the middle. We've got to come together. Whatever happens in this election right now, we can do better as individuals, as a people, as a community, as Americans, the author said. We can do better. As far as who McConaughey will vote for, he's keeping that under wraps. Yeah, I've thought about it. I'm keeping it to myself, he said firmly. Well, I think very good words spoken by Matthew McConaughey. It mirrors a message that I've tried to put forth many times here on this channel. I hope that the impending cancel mob for him, you know, it's funny because it's how Hollywood goes. It's like, it's not about like saying in the middle anymore. It's about like actively denouncing Orange Man. Look what they've done to Chris Pratt over the last week. Simply because he's just not like a political dude. People have been dragging him, calling him all sorts of horrible names. The Avengers cast came out and defended him, and then they got vitriol. It's like Twitter has really ruined people. I mean, a lot of this comes from the generation of people that were raised by Twitter. I would be shocked if a lot of these like crazy zealots on either side didn't spend a lot of time on Twitter. I think that the two correlate pretty closely. Celebrity worship is another thing that correlates closely with these people that are nutbags. And I agree. Look, cast your vote November 3rd or before, and move on with your life. I mean, like I've always said, your local government is the one that really affects you day to day for the most part. And what you need to do is get involved there. Worry about who your city planner is. Worry about who's running for governor or mayor. These are people that generally affect your day-to-day life way more than the president will. And it's just more constructive to be invested there, I think. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have already smashed that red subscribe button. Let's hit 1 million subscribers by Christmas. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you again real soon.